Welcome to Under the Covers, where we talk to your favorite YouTube drummers and get behind the scenes of their covers and their channels. Before we dive in, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel using these buttons below, and do the same thing for our featured drummer. You'll find links for the channels and videos and anything else we discuss in the description. Let's get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to Under the Covers. We have OnlyDans. I'm drinking my delicious scotch out of a coffee cup in honor of Dan's channel today.
Damn it! Yeah, sure. PBR in a coffee mug too. No.
Where did the coffee mug picture come from, anyways? Like that's your profile picture.
That was a picture my girlfriend took of me. It was a housewarming party for one of my friends who had just recently got married. She was, she hosted a party, and it was I guess it was like it was adult but trashy at the same time. So it's like we were all dressed nice and saying yes. Oh yes, I have to go back into the office or something like that. But we were all hammered, and I just got tired, and I made myself a coffee, and like somebody had said something stupid. I think that's why I was just making my face while I was drinking coffee, because I had gotten tired. But yeah, that's what that is. Originally from Southern Florida, but I've been here in Charlotte, North Carolina, mid elementary school. So, and I graduated high school here, graduated college here. I like the area. There's quite a bit.
Very cool. So how long have you been playing for?
Yeah, almost 13 years now. I started playing when I was 14. Got my first drum set for my 14th birthday. Before then with the Guitar Hero, they had just come out. They had, at the time when like a year or two before I started playing drums, Guitar Hero had just come out with the full band setup. So that was one day I just started messing around on it. Really enjoyed it, and I guess after breaking the second or third Guitar Hero drum set there, my mom said it was time to get the real thing, and probably give real drums a try.
Was there some intent behind playing? Like, is there something that drew you to drums directly?
I started off with guitar, tried that for a couple of years. It was pretty awful. It just, for some reason, it just didn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. I'd taken guitar lessons or whatever, and it just wasn't clicking. But like I said, with the Guitar Hero thing, like I just started messing around on it, and I guess after I got to play on like the harder expert mode, I was like, I wonder what this would, at the time I was still wondering, what this would seem like if I memorized each pad or something like that and attributed a part of the drum set to that. Would this be able to transfer? And in some cases it did. In some cases it did. Like the first couple songs I learned how to play were actually songs I was just really good at on the Guitar Hero game. Because I was able to transpose the drum parts that I learned.
How involved were your parents in your drum playing? Like after you bought your kit, did they help you anywhere else?
They were really supportive, of me and my bands and stuff. Like they didn't like the music, which it was the typical. My mom would say, Daniel, I really like the song, but I just don't understand why the vocalist has to, why he has to scream like that or whatever. Shit, typical parent, thing to say, but they were really supportive of it. So, supportive of me, playing in bands, drumming, getting better, because they knew that I loved it.
We didn't have a lot of money, so I actually worked an entire summer to buy my first kit. And my mother acknowledged the fact that I played well, but I think she really regretted the decision to let me buy the drum set after it was actually in the house. Even though she worked a lot, when she was around and I was playing, it just shook the entire house. You said you were in school when you learned to play. Did you do any part in school, or was it all out?
All outside of school. I auditioned for to play like snare drum or something like that in middle school band, but I didn't. I can't remember if it was like if my grades just weren't good enough, because I guess there was like a merit component as well as like, can you actually play drum? Can you play drum in that case?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was one of those, or maybe a combination of the two. I just didn't do well, didn't have good enough grades, or I just sucked. I couldn't tell which it was. I never really took any formal lessons, but I don't know if I'd call myself self-taught. because like there were I had help along the way. There was a guy from my church, and he had a big background in jazz, and he taught me what double time swing was. Which, by the way, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It'll blow your freaking mind. It's not even like the style of music I really listen to. God, this shit's wild. Yeah. But he would show me a thing or two whenever we'd get up and jam, and like, hey Dan, there's this cool little trick you can try for this fill, and I practice that a little bit, and then we just go back and forth. You'd play in like 4 bars, and of course I'd just sit there, and he was just like, it was insane watching the guy go.
How long after you started playing did you play in your first band?
Probably later that year. I think before I had even gotten my first drum set, I had an okay foundation, kind of to get started. So I guess that kind of helped me with initially learning, my technique, different kinds of beats, how to interact with other instruments. My first band was like, pretty crappy, generic, high school metal band. I think I played in. It was terrible. Really cringy band name that we changed like 3 or 4 times into something even cringier. It just got worse and worse over time.
What was it? Original music or cover music? I assume original.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was original and just as bad as you probably think it is.
And then how many bands have you played in?
I guess like 9 or 10 bands with different enough lineups and different enough music to be considered separate. There were some cases where 3 or 4 members, and including me, of one band, we kind of branch off and start this side project because there was somebody in the scene who couldn't play another instrument, but they're so they would just be a vocalist. I mean, hardcore and punk, I don't really have to have a lot of singing prowess for it. So they just wanted to be in a band so bad, so we'd put something together, write like 3 or 4 songs, and then just call it quits after that because it's like, this sucks, I don't enjoy this. So I'll say 9 or 10.
And what types of places have you played? Like, give me some claims to fame here.
Big show I actually got to play. This was I played in a band called Quite Personal. It was like pop punk kind of. Our first couple songs basically ripped off the Wonder Years, but it was a great time. It was an awesome Wonder Years the band, but not the TV show.
Yeah, not the TV show. That would be weird.
Yeah, but we played this show called it was a local music festival called Songs of the South. Pretty much bands from all over North Carolina, and some from out of state, some national touring acts as well. Played like, I guess, bigger names like Front Bottoms, Real Friends, Such Gold. Have you heard of any of those?
None.
That hoodie I wear a lot in my video, or I've worn in some of my videos that says Such Gold?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that band. That's actually where I got that hoodie. But there were a few hundred people at that one. Not, they weren't there for my band really, but I got to play in front of them.
Well, that's good.
That was probably one of the better shows I've ever played. And then there was the band I was in after that was called Sunnyvale. Similar music style, but probably like a more mature approach to it. I think I was 18 or 19 when we started that band. We did like a small tour. Basically starting in North Carolina, we went as far south as Miami area, and then just kind of looped back. I think it was a string of like 6 or 7 shows.
That was really videos of Sunnyvale song.
Yeah. Our first single, it was called Blame Me. And then there, if you look up Sunnyvale NC on Bandcamp, you can still find that EP where I recorded 4 of the 5 songs on there. I ended up leaving the band, started college, just couldn't pay attention to it anymore. But yeah, I recorded 4 out of the 5 songs on that EP. So if anybody wants to check it out, just Google like Sunnyvale NC or whatever. They put out an EP. We put out an EP called Never the Same Again. It was great. I loved it.
Any fun band stories?
I think this is with Sunnyvale. I think we were in Orlando at the time, and our guitarist, or I can't remember who in the band. It wasn't me. Although it would have been funnier if this were a me story. But he thought he saw Kimbo Slice walking down the street, so he just runs after the guy. He's like, "Mr. Slice, Mr. Slice!" So I'm a huge fan. The guy turns around, and clearly it's not him. The skinny-looking 18-year-old just, oh, sorry, and then runs back off. This was with one of my metal bands called Left Unspoken, which I've got videos from years ago. Our first EP on my channel as well. But we did a Halloween show and our vocalist, he wore a ski mask. Guitarist, he wore like his like middle school wrestling outfit and wore a luchador mask, and I had like a helmet and elbow pad, knee pads or whatever. I probably had like the least funny costume, I think. And then our bassist, that he took the cake. He borrowed some shorts from his sister, and that's it. That's what he wore. He wore his sister's shorts, and it was just, you know, I thought I saw him shake his ass a little bit too. It was wild.
So tell me about your channel.
I guess there are a couple things that will come into play with my, I guess, like with my reasoning behind posting videos. But I do often ask myself, when I'm struggling to get through a song and I'm just really pushing myself, to the brink of total exhaustion, why am I so stressed out to finish this song up today? Why do I have to put out a video? I'm not doing this for money. I'm not even doing original content. How could I make money for it? Or I don't have a whole lot of followers. What does it matter? In the grand scheme of things, which is something I deal with on a daily basis. The other thing, I guess, is doing songs that there aren't a whole lot of covers on YouTube of. One thing that always kills me when I'm trying to learn a new song is if I can't find a decent enough cover of it. Because that's my primary way of learning these songs. I will watch others play it and see where I can improve on it, or throw in my own little spin, or if I just enjoy playing it and I can, if I can just flail my arms wildly. Sometimes it's with a lot of the covers I do, it's like me paying it forward. If somebody else is trying to learn one of these songs, hey, they might run into my video and learn how to play it from there, and I could and I can help them, and they'll have the same existential breakdown every Sunday like I do.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan. The way you play, the energy you put into it, you can tell with the videos you put out that you're putting everything into the song. Almost like you're trying to put your hand through the kit. And I posted a comment on your one of your videos that it makes me want to punch a baby goat when I watch you play. And the funny thing too with your videos is I never know the song, but I always like the song. So it's something to look forward to, is that not only am I getting to watch a really good drummer play, but I'm also being introduced to a song that I know I'm probably going to like too. So.
Well, hey, I mean, one of the greatest feelings, I think, is showing. I'll run into this with my friends. They don't all listen to the same music as I do. We share some similarities, but I love when I can show somebody a song, or like if I'm just listening to a song in the background, somebody's like, "Wait a second, Dan, I like this. This sounds really good. Who is this?" It's like, oh. Yeah, we're about to make freaking lose it here. And then I just start going over the discography, and it's like, to a point where I'm talking about, and it's like, this song is about the guy's ex-wife, but like, this other bit, it's like an Always Sunny when he's like connecting the dots.
Yeah. So when you go to post a video, are you practicing and posting that with intent? Like, do you choose that song?
There are a couple ways I'll choose songs. It's either a song I've been jamming to for years at this point. It's just like, it's like, yeah, maybe I should get around to making a video of that. It's a fun song. I think a lot of people would like it, or, something like that. So I'll just, play it from memory, and, obviously, try to fine tune, the way I remember playing something could have been wildly wrong. I mean, hell, I learned the song when I was 13, 14, 15, something like that. Or the other way I like choose a song, I guess, is I'll just have a playlist or something, like when I'm driving, my commute to work or something like that. I'll hear that, and I'll be reminded of a fill in a song or something like that. I was like, man, that's badass. You know what? I'm gonna, think about this song for the rest of the week, and and then I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go play drums on, on like a Saturday or Sunday, for like 6-7 hours, try to figure this thing out and just, really nail it.
So you repeat the same song over and over and over again when you.
Oh yeah, man. I bet I'm a nightmare to drive in the car with, especially when I'm trying to relearn or learn a song, because it's just like, it's just the same thing over and over again. And basically, after I finish making a video, I never want to listen to that song ever again.
Which video are you the most proud of?
So there was a song I did by Knuckle. It's called Pretense. Yeah. It's one of the songs I play. I mean, I'm sure if anybody's seen my channel, they're like, most of the music it's got the DB, that song is basically that throughout. It's like a 4-minute song, and it's got some pretty crazy fills, and I was really stoked on how that came out. And especially, you know, and I might just not know a trick that a lot of other people have. But another thing, if you've seen in my videos, like I think the way the natural light comes in, I almost get like a shadowy effect,
Mm-hmm.
like you know, like with the sticks, and I think it looks so badass, and it really sucks because if I play too late in the day, that natural light will go away, and it just goes back to looking like garbage. But I was really stoked on that one because I was able to like I had just gotten my haircut after it, so I was already feeling awesome, and I got it like second or third try, and it came out that you know pretty well. Not to toot my own horn too much, but yeah, I was really happy about how that one came out. I did a song by Law Dispute, said the King to the River. I was really happy with how that one came out. Very, you know, very strange, quirky drum parts in that one, and I think I did well.
Are there any songs, because you were in a band, like are there any songs you hate because you were in a band?
I really can't stand "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance. I hate that song now because I remember pitching that as a joke. This was my band Sunnyvale. Like I remember pitching that as a joke when we were like, yeah, we should come up with a cover, you know, just to fill in the set. And you know, they were all, you know, those guys were all just like, oh, we should do something by Hum. Or like, don't get me wrong, I love Hum, but it's just like anybody outside of this scene or like you know or who isn't stuck in the 90s, they're not gonna know who the hell Hum is. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm studying your real estate, some Hum or something like that. And I was just like, I was like, hell, let's do like My Chemical Romance or something like that. You know, there's like, damn, that's not a bad idea. I was just like, you motherfuckers, I was kidding. And then, but yeah, so we did that, played it over and over and over again, and I fucking hate that song. I can't play it anymore. You know.
I can't stand the entire Black Album by Metallica.
Oh, okay.
There's
No, I
nothing about that. That has nothing to do with me being in a band. Like you know, Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. I mean, all of those albums are just hard hitting, amazing. And the Black Album really, to me, feels like it's when they sold out, and everybody was listening to it. And I cannot stand any. I can't listen to it for longer than like 12 seconds. Like I have a very vomitous like response to it.
I'm actually glad that you brought up Metallica too, because I wanted to ask you because he's such a controversial figure. How do you feel about Lars Ulrich? You know,
Well,
not
he can't play for shit. Even when he could, like he played really fast, which is great, but not as any faster than anybody else during that era. And he's not an amazing drummer. I mean, the most intricate, like the most amazing thing I guess he ever pulled off, it's not even amazing, was the Injustice for All. Like if you listen to one, like sure there's some timing changes and there's some interesting bits to it, but it's still very rudimentary. Like it's just basic, and I hate him.
yeah, no, I can't stand his stuff. I'm not gonna like I'm not the biggest Metallica fan out there. No, I mean like you know being in the metal and hardcore scene, I mean you know it's basically like um all the songs that we were playing, especially like you know when we get into like crossover, you know crossover like punk and hardcore, it's we're basically playing dumbed down Metallica riffs. You know they set the standard, you know, the you know like all that stuff. You know, yeah, I mean it's like I say I'm not a big Metallica fan, yet I played for years in bands that were ripping them off most likely. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's not like I said, the harder stuff was really good, but you know they became softer and softer as it went along. And anything after the Black Album, it's just I can't listen to it. There's a
Is the Black Album the fan? Is that considered the fan? That's the one that's got like Enter Sandman and stuff on it, right? That's
that one, and Sad But True, and all like it's just awful.
Sad but true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw the video you did, and I was like, what the hell is he doing? You know, just all
yeah,
this stuff.
yeah. I because I'm insane, and I thought that would be funny, but yeah, I can't stand it. And I always hear like people who are part-time Metallica fans anyway, so go, oh yeah, the Black Album was amazing. No, wrong answer. Give me your music card. You can't have it anymore.
Yeah, you just take it away. Like you know, can't listen to any more music at all.
Yeah, when Kid Rock like samples it, you know you've lost. Like there you go. Tell me about your kit and your equipment.
Yeah. So I guess before I take you with me to show you everything, it's a D Drum Dios kit. It's I think you can see it in most of my videos. It's green, that kind of green and sparkly, and then it turns black down at the bottom. Not a crazy setup. You know, Aquarian heads, you know, on all the drums, except for the bass drum. I used to use an Aquarian Performance 2. Now I've got an Evans like ring, which is basically the same thing. And then of course a Remo head for the snare. As far as the cymbals go, I'm kind of all over the place. This is my favorite cymbal of all time. If you've watched it, you know, you watch any of my videos, you see me smack the shit out of this one. Just because it holds up, sounds really good. Yeah, 21-inch A custom sweet ride, medium thin. I like it. Believe it or not, this is a Zildjian too. This is an A custom heavy ride that I need to replace.
I just saw the crack.
Oh yeah, man. This thing is. It still sounds okay in the videos, but it you know, once I decide to start throwing cash at the drums again, you know, it'll probably sound a lot better. This is my least favorite cymbal of all time. I only play with it because I don't have anything else that could stand in for a heavy ride. But you know, it does the job. And then this is some kind of Meinl China or whatever that sounds terrible on its own. So I put like a Wuhan splash over top of it, and it does the trick too.
What's your bass pedal?
Oh, sorry.
Your bass pedal.
Oh, that is a DW 3000. Yeah, nothing super special about it. It's got the dual chain on it though, so you know, it beats the hell out of the other pedals I was using before. For audio, I'm sure anybody who's seen me, you know, talk on the Facebook group or whatever, you know, I'm a big proponent of the Yamaha EAD10. It's made my life so much easier, and it puts out decent quality stuff. Basically, you know, this thing just hooks on my bass drum. You probably never see it in the videos because it's under the ride, but this is a bass drum trigger, and then it's got I think there's like a dual condenser microphone or whatever that just effectively mics up the entire kit. You know, just with that single thing. It's got the module here that I can plug my phone into and all of that.
So you have the Yamaha EAD. How do you go about making your videos?
So the EAD, like I said, it plugs into that module, and I can plug my phone in there. And there's actually an app that goes along with it called Rec and Share, REC, the letter N, and then share. Basically, what you can do with it is you can plug a song in there, you know, at the bass line, and you know, put a metronome behind it, and you can adjust the settings and everything like that, and you can just play to it for practice. And when I decide to start recording, it'll allow my phone to both film and pick up the audio. So I've got my audio track from that back the back camera. You know, you've seen my phone just you know, behind me filming me. That's where I get my audio, and then I just mute the GoPro for the front shot.
And how do you end up having to process like that? How does the MP3 get into that?
The video and the audio, at least from the back shot, that gets saved into the Rec and Share app, and I just share it to Drive, and then, you know, download it and edit it with my software.
Which software are you using to edit your videos?
I am using a bootlegged version of Adobe Pro.
For the lawyers, it's a completely purchased version of.
Yep.
So I want to ask you about your recording space, because every time I watch one of your videos, I see that, you know, it looks kind of bachelor pad-ish. Like, are you in an apartment or a house, or?
I'm in a house. Saw me walking up to my drum set. I don't know if you noticed, but I like stepped up. The first thing I saw when I was looking at this house, you know, before I decided to move in, I saw that it had this raised area, and that's where my drums are. And I was like, what the hell? It's like a stage. You know, I don't know what that was initially for. I guess like a dining room or something. A lot of parts of this house make no sense whatsoever. You know, if you've ever seen any of the mill houses in North Carolina, you know, a bunch of yuppies like myself, you know, we'll come and we'll come and buy these things up and put a bunch of stupid shit on it, like, you know, additions that make no sense. But you know, that did stick. I mean, basically looked like a stage, and I loved it. As far as my neighbors, you know, I live on a main road, you know, so it's nobody can hear anything. Cars, fire trucks, police cars going, you know, going each way. Nobody can hear anything. I'm also like a good 40 to 50 feet away from any other houses.
Have you used it as a stage?
Yeah, not for like a house show or anything like that. I mean, like, I've had people come over and jam. I mean, you know, I've got enough room to fit a couple half stacks in there, but no, I'm not throwing a that's one. I guess that's one line I won't cross. I'm not gonna have any shows at my house, and no. I'm still not sure if anybody knows I played the drums. You know, my neighbors or
Really?
yeah. I mean, I've never spoken to them. I moved into this house during the pandemic. I haven't spoken to the neighbors, you know, because I didn't. They're older. I didn't want to scare anybody, you know.
Yeah, I did the perp walk to my neighbors like I was a sex offender, to knock on everyone's door to tell them, hey, I play drums. If I don't play after 8, if it gets obnoxious, please say something to me, please. Like, don't call the cops, please. Barefoot, socks, or shoes?
Shoes. Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a popular choice. I imagine it being the most common choice.
And you're not quirky about it? Like, you don't have to have, like, you don't have a pair of playing shoes?
Anybody who knows me outside of YouTube, and I guess everybody else will too. I'm not particularly interesting as far as my choice of clothes go. I buy the same shoes every time. I've been wearing the same shoes, same color for the last 20 years or something like that. You know, it's like, you know, it's just always been the Vans Authentics, and boom, you know.
Skater shoes.
Yeah, well, these are like poser skater shoes because like they tear up, you know. Actually, when I did skate, I think I wore like Emerica or something, but you know, that's, you know, whatever.
Tiny shorts, are they a coincidence or a conscious choice?
100% a conscious choice. And not only are they shorts, they're swim trunks. I got into that habit of wearing swim trunks when I played drums. This is probably after like my second or third band, I think. You know, playing in some of these like, you know, small, you know, shitty venues during the summer, no air conditioning back there. You know, God forbid they have a fan, you know, for the drummer or something like that. But I started wearing those because it's like, you know, they stay dry, or at least they don't just like soak up, you know, all of my sweat like normal shorts or pants would. You know, so I just got into the habit there. And then, you know, the reason why I roll them up to make them shorter, get more air circulation. Plus I got nice legs, you know, whatever.
I like that, man. When you were at the shows, did you wear the bathing suit to the bar, or did you change before the show?
I would change before the show. Although there were probably a few times like I would just, you know, I would just forget. I'd just, you know, fuck it. I'm wearing the shorts there. Nobody ever asked me anything. I mean, you know, I guess a fortunate thing about, you know, playing in the punk, hardcore, and metal scene is like it's full of weirdos. So, you know, that's probably like one of the somebody showing up to you know, somebody in a band showing up to play a show, you know, wearing swim trunks. That's probably like not the weirdest thing anybody had ever seen.
It's the least weirdest thing there. I played in a band that basically did like 70s punk. It was one of the most fun bands I've ever played in because we didn't practice, we just showed up.
Beautiful.
One of the band stories is we showed up to a show and they were like, hey, you know, let's do something. And I was like, well, let's set up backwards. So like I had the drum set facing the back wall, and so all the audience could see is my back, and then they faced everything that way too. The sound guy fucking hated us, like absolutely fucking hated us. Tell me about some of your favorite YouTube drummers.
You know, Estepario Siberiano is definitely my favorite right now. If you've never seen the guy's work, he's insane. He's like a few years younger than I am, but you know, he's jacked. He's got a, you know, really, you know, big tough guy. He's got a massive beard covered in tattoos, and he's from Spain. He's from Valencia, I think. But he it's absolutely insane to watch the guy because he plays with like 10 times as much power as I would. He's way faster, way more precise. I mean, the dude's just all around fantastic. And plus, he's got a minimalist setup. He only plays with a floor tom. Floor tom bass drum snare. You know, and then he's just got a bunch of crazy, you know, different effects symbols. And then the strange setup, I don't always get it, but I mean, the guy is wild. You know, if you haven't seen him, check his stuff out. You know, have your mind blown. And I watched Cobus quite a bit, as I'm sure everybody else has. I mean, the guy's been on YouTube forever. I think what got me, it was his cover of either Face Down by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, which to this day is still probably one of the better drum covers out there on YouTube. And then he did a cover of a Boys Like Girls song, you know, and I still have a soft spot for that style of music. But that was really cool. So I've been following him forever as well. I guess as far as like drummers from the community go, Rich Raw Dawg Drums, he's one of the only other guys in the, in like the, little drumming community that we have here, who has like really similar taste in music to me. Like, anytime I post like a Midwest emo cover or something like that, he'll be like, "Oh man, this is such a great band. This is definitely one of the most influential emo bands that like, would, go on to make the genre what it is." And I'm just like, what the fuck? Nobody knows who this is. Like I did a Pinfold cover, something like nobody knows who Pinfold is, and then there was one time he did a Have Heart cover, which I was just already mind blown from that. Have Heart is definitely one of my favorite bands out there. That it was part of that old Boston straight edge scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was cool because that, like I said, that's not like a band I see pop up in the community. Oh, two others I didn't mention, that I don't know if I can pronounce the last word, but Scottish Drum Teuchters. I think that's how you pronounce it. Teuchters. I think that's how you pronounced it one time.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what song he did, but there was some little like thing that he did on the hi-hats that was just like, what the fuck? What are you doing? That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. How do you do that? And like I remember commenting on there, I was like, "Oh, you got to teach me how you're doing." And he commented, I always read it in his voice because I've heard him speak on the show. He's like, "Oh, Dan, you'd be the one to teach me." So, and I was like,
yeah. The first time I watched one of those videos, I said, "If it's not Scottish, it's crap." But yeah. I didn't get a response, and I was like, totally joking.
The other person who comes to mind, fellow North Carolinian as well, Drum Addict. He gave me a shout out. I like a lot of the stuff he does. A lot of the music he does. I mean, this is those are bands that I still listen to in the past as well. But he did a shout out, and he did a shout out for me, and that's where like I gained a lot of subscribers out of that. I thought that was, I don't know, I really do like how supportive the community is. And Drum Man, who started the whole thing. Big shout out to those guys, for like keeping it going, trying to be as supportive as possible. Some of the songs that you've done, like I commented on your Manchester Orchestra cover. That's another one of those bands that's like never see anybody talk about them, and that was awesome. Somebody posted a video of it.
It's a blast to play. The Rich Raw Dawg, he's a really solid drummer, but his intro music sounds like Metalocalypse, which I love that commercial, or I love that cartoon. I'm okay. Like I watch other people play, and you can see they're a lot better than me, and I'm a man enough to admit that. That's one of my favorite people to watch right now is Trey B. Have you seen his videos? He's got a really wild playing style, almost like Shannon Larkin, who's another like, I never understood how people can get that much swing and still be precise. So the way he plays is just like, it's left hand, right hand, he hits a cymbal and like comes back from like Savannah, Georgia with it before he hits it. And he's just really fun to watch. And then I'll make the comments, and he's like, you're good too. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not that good.
I'm I guess not like my biggest fan, but I am probably the person who watches my videos the most. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm okay. I mean, I can certainly carry a beat, and I'm relatively versatile, in my drumming. But the biggest thing is like I'm aware of my limitations, and that's why I don't know if I can necessarily always appreciate my stuff, because it's like people can be like, "Oh, Dan, this was so cool, that you're really good drummer," and it's like, stop telling me how good I am at drums. It's like I think I was able to get that part, but see, you don't understand because you just saw me do that D beat. Yeah, it was cool or whatever, but I can't play double time swing. I can't I can't go play jazz right now or something. And you don't. No.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I hope you had a good time. For all of you guys, please like and subscribe to Dan's channel. Any of the drummers that we've talked about or videos will be posted in the description below. And please stay tuned for more Under the Covers.